Yo, what's goody, fam? Listen, if I could sit down with you, man to man, and give you some advice that could change your life, this would be it. Everything starts with discipline. The very first thing I need for you to do is master self discipline. I think about two things when I think about discipline. One, my father expressing to me the importance of being a person of honor and integrity, doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. That's really all discipline is. And then I think back to The Godfather. It's my favorite movie. And I remember Don Vito telling Michael that, women and children have the luxury of being irresponsible, but men don't. And I don't know, for whatever reason, that just stuck with me. But as a young man, this is the most crucial, vital time for you to develop self-discipline. And I'm gonna tell you why. Especially for my young boys that's, you growing up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? You growing up in unfortunate circumstance. Discipline equals freedom. A disciplined man is a free man. And I'm not telling you something that I've read in a book. I'm telling you from real life experience. I'm telling you as somebody who grew up in an environment with a whole bunch of crazy, wild situations going on. A youngin' that participated in wild, crazy situations. But I was disciplined enough, and quite frankly, I was lucky enough not to get wrapped up in a system, not to become a statistic. Discipline. Discipline, again, doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Not being flaky, not being lax, not being lazy, right? And developing discipline could be as simple as I say I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. No matter what time I go to sleep, that's the time I wake up. Discipline. Discipline is I know that I got chores. I know that I got homework. I'm doing my chores and my discipline and my homework without somebody telling me, without being prompted. Discipline is being self-sufficient, and you develop the capacity to be self-sufficient and being a self-starter by doing what you say you're going to do. And it starts with the little things. It's not nothing crazy. A discipline. Now, you might look at somebody, for example, who writes a book, right? And you're like, oh, well, a book that's 80,000 words, whatever the case may be. That person wrote that book one day at a time. 500 words here, 500 words there. That's how the book came about. It wasn't they sat and in one shot took that down, right? Discipline is going to the gym on a consistent basis. Discipline is eating healthy on a consistent basis. Discipline is staying on top of your health and your hygiene. Discipline is reading 10 pages every day, right? Stimulates your mind. Being disciplined is the foundation of everything healthy, everything productive that is to come from your person and be created in your life. I don't know no other way to put that to you. Second thing I need you to do, be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of your environment. Now, when I speak about environment, I'm talking about people, places, and things. You got to put the right people around you. You got to be in the right environment, people doing the right things. There's research that shows that the number one factor in a person's success is their reference group, the people that they refer to, the people that they are exposed to, the people that they are around. Who do you have close to you? Who do you have connected to you? Who is around you? Now, again, I'm not telling you nothing I read in the book. I'm telling you from experience. I grew up in the hood. I grew up, there was love in my home, but outside, it was crazy outside. All sorts of things happening, being exposed to things that a kid at my age should not be exposed to. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even saying people was bad people, but they just happened to be a product of the environment, prisoners of circumstance. A lot of the situations that I found myself in just by proximity to the situation. And it wasn't until I got self-aware and I got a little bit more mature that I was able to pause and pull myself out the situation so I don't just get wrapped up, or I just don't go with the flow, or I don't do nothing and become a crash dummy. Having the right people around you means everything. And that brings me to a point, you know, around day ones, right? And I've said this before. You don't get to choose your day ones, but you do get to choose day twos. Day ones are the people that you grew up with, you came out the sandbox with. Y'all was in kindergarten, first, second grade. You might have been neighbors. Y'all was in the same after school program. Y'all played ball together. You know what I mean? Y'all shared chicken sandwiches, whatever the case may be. Your day ones, you were connected to out of circumstance. The language of day ones is, yo, this is what happened. Remember when, right? It's very rare that day ones stay with you through your evolution process. And that's okay. The ones who do stay with you, beautiful. But there's also room for you to pick day twos. Day twos are people that come to you, you know what I'm saying? They come to you along your journey. Those are the people that you choose. Those are the people that, you don't come from the same place, but y'all are connected through like mind, like spirit, like journey, right? Y'all want the same things. Y'all are on a similar path. Y'all are coming from different places with different flavor, and y'all can teach each other things. There's value in day twos. I got day ones, I got day twos. The point is, you want to be able to choose the people for you. You don't want people to be chosen for you. You want to curate, right? You want to curate a network. It's almost like being a curator of a museum. You want to get these pieces and put them in the right place and put together this masterpiece. So called your life. So having the right people around you is imperative. The last thing I say about that is your environment will change you way faster than you'll change your environment. There's too many influences dictating your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions about things, right? And so until you have built up the maturity, the fortitude, the focus to be able to design your environment, you need to do your best to put yourself in an environment where doing good things are as frictionless and as easy to do as possible. The more friction it is to do a good thing, the more difficult it is to do a good thing, the less likely you are to do it. And the easier it is for you to do a good thing, the more likely you are. So it comes down to environment. Third thing, emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence sounds super fancy, sounds crazy. Emotional intelligence is more important than IQ. EQ is more important than IQ. Because every day we are walking through this life, we got to deal with people. And emotional intelligence really just speaks to, are you aware of who you are? Are you aware of who other people are? And do you know how to create and manage your interactions and relationships with them? Emotional intelligence boils down to four things. Self-awareness. Is who you are on the inside consistent with the person that's on the outside? Are you cognizant of who that person is? Are you connected to that person? Then it's self-management. Now that you're clear about who you are, do you know how to manage yourself, maintain yourself, keep yourself in check, be disciplined, right? How do you be productive? Self-management. Then there's social awareness. Social awareness. Do you recognize the people, places, and things in your environment? Are you able to identify a person in your environment? What kind of person is this? Good, bad? Are they introverted, extroverted? Whatever the case may be. Do you have a social awareness? Are your antennas up? And then the last piece is relationship management. Do you know how to manage relationships with people who are like you? And then are you able to manage relationships with people who are not like you, people who are different? And different isn't bad. Different is actually a great thing. I'm a big proponent of diversity of perspective. I feel like diversity of perspective makes us better, more important people. I remember being able to go, travel for whatever reason, or even go with my pops for a weekend or for a break. And I was able to lead a hood and see things and experience things that my other friends wasn't able to. And I was able to come back and like, yo, put them on game about something. Now, some people used to laugh and be like, yo, you talking about the moon and the stars, or you talking about this weird stuff. And that was cool. But I think the exposure that I got was important for me. It gave me something to aspire to. And sometimes hope is all you need when you disciplined and you a self-starter. The last piece of advice I would give you, and I can't put enough emphasis on this, take full ownership of your life. Full ownership. There is nobody coming to save you. Nobody. You and you alone are responsible for the choices and decisions you make. You're born looking like the decisions of your parents, but you die looking like your decisions. Make sure you choose wisely. Make sure you act accordingly. At the end of the day, it is nobody's fault and it's nobody's responsibility. One of my favorite books is Extreme Ownership by I think Jacko Willick, right? It's an amazing book. I might drop the link to it in the comments, but that's an amazing book. That's a great way to get started on a journey of accountability, the journey of extreme ownership. Another great book is The Four Agreements. Shout out to my OG Phil Pabon for putting me on to that. Changed my life. But taking responsibility for your life, whatever the circumstances may be, you come from bad environment, parents in jail or addicted to drugs, whatever, you failed out of school, whatever it is, you can do something right now to change your circumstance. But you can only do that if you take full ownership and responsibility. It's nobody's fault but yours. I remember one of my old heads telling me, it's not your fault, but it's your problem. And it was really difficult for me to sit with that. I said, it's not your fault that you're in this circumstance. It's not your fault that you're in this situation. It's not your fault that we here, but it's your problem. Meaning you got to do whatever you need to do to fix it, to make it to where it's how you want it to be. And once I put that beside me, I was able to focus on what was important. Taking ownership of your stuff, even the stuff that's not yours, but stuff that affects you, it's on you. So again, I need you to focus on being disciplined. I need you to focus on surrounding yourself with the right people, being in the right environment. I need you to become emotionally intelligent, and I need you to take extreme ownership of your life. Every 24 hours is on you. If you need me, hit me. Drop something in the comments, share this with somebody. But this is life-changing advice for young people.